Hello. So the next game in the Chehalis tournament, game 5 was against Carl Johnson. So I don't get any break. Maybe if I had a break after playing, just losing a narrow loss to Nigel. Maybe if I had a break, I would have played a little bit better. But no rest for the wicked. Have to play Carl Johnson immediately after. And that's just how it goes. You don't really get much rest in between games. You might be able to go to the bathroom, but then you immediately have to start the next game because if you dally, it's just not good, and people get upset. So, but yeah, it would kind of be nice sometimes to have a little bit like a break just to catch your breath. When you're playing such like, oh, actually, I didn't go first in this one. When you're playing such high level Scrabble in a tournament setting, for me, I get a lot of anxiety. So I have a little bit of cold, so to prevent you from hearing me blow my nose and watching me blow my nose, I'm going to pause whenever I need to do that. You might think, well, why are you recording video then? Well, the answer is don't have too much time. I work a full-time job, so it's kind of my only time I got to do it, so I'm going to do it. And I did want to review this game because it's a very high level game. I believe this one's even closer than the one I have with Nigel. He opens with wow. And I probably didn't make the best play here. But when, like, you only get 25 minutes. And so when you have, like, a rack like this, it can be tempting to be like, oh, let's finding something ending in, okay, I could place. I'm pretty sure I saw senates here, but uh, is senates really? I did see senates here, but is that really going to be like the best? Like senates there, it's probably better than senates here. I mean, I guess it scores 4 more points. But if I play senates here, I didn't like the way the board looked after this. There's something about it I didn't like. I liked playing it here, so I ended up playing meanest. And I liked this better because I just like the shape of the board better. But I guess this is probably wrong. I should have played senates instead. Let's take a look. Sensate. Yeah, so all these are pretty much like the same. So senates would have been fine. Yeah, so yeah, I should have played senates. I don't know why I went with this. I think it was trying me getting overly fancy and like overthinking the board shape after senates, but senates would have been better. But one of the reasons that I like the board shape better is I like to keep the board as open as possible, and then if I am able to bingo again within the next 2 turns, I'll have a really good chance of winning this game. Is what my thinking was, and that often happens where you'll bingo once, like on your first turn like this, and then you'll just never lose momentum and you'll just win easily. And that's what I was hoping for. So like Farsi here, keeping the U. I'm sure I got rid of the U. I played Furiam. So Farsi scores 30. I agree that the thing is, It scores 30, but you gotta subtract 6 points for keeping the U, because the U is like a -6, pretty sure. So whenever you keep a U on your rack, you gotta like subtract like. It's saying it's only worth a -5, but really to me, I always value it at -6. Um, so this is more like worth 24, not 30. And then my play of Furian is 16. So this is about, and then IER. So if you take Farsi versus, so if I play Farsi, I leave ERU. This is probably going to be better than -5. Okay, so it's 2 points better. But with my play of Furian, and again, this is what I was going for. I was hoping to just bingo twice within the first three turns, and I just have a really good chance of winning. That's why I was going. So IER, I think, is fairly good, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not as good as I thought it was. It's only 1.5, so. Maybe Furian wasn't the best. I should have played Farsi. So that was a pretty big miss, I guess. Not sure why I played Furian. It was probably I didn't spend long enough on thinking about this play. If I had thought longer, I think I would have found Farsi and just played Farsi. Here he makes a play that I actually held, and he told me after the game that he actually wasn't sure on it either. He plays Gloop, which, since we were both unsure of it, let's look up what this means. I think it just means goop, but yeah, it's basically the same as goop. Okay, so I held this and then correctly didn't challenge it, because, like, why would I challenge and lose a turn on a 19-point play? Like, and also I thought it was a word too, so I wasn't really close to challenging this one. I had unhired. The reason I wanted to challenge it though is because I would have played unhired if that spot wasn't blocked, and then I would have had the 2 bingos within the 3 turns that I wanted. So it was kind of a big bummer. So that was the main reason I didn't like letting this one go, but I kind of knew it was good with Gloop. What did I play here? I played Dungier because there's still some goodies left in the bag, and I felt like I've got a lead. Let's just go for some tile turnover. I've found that, and then I like the leave of just H. H is a pretty good leave. Let's see. I've been going for a tile turnover and having some moderate success with a tile turnover strategy. H is not as good as I thought it was, but I think if you pair it with a vowel like E or maybe A, well, maybe not. E goes well with it. I thought A would go better with it. How about I? No? Oh, okay. Maybe H isn't as strong as I thought it was. Alright, but I thought H is a really good tile. This is one of my favorite tiles. But maybe I need to rethink H. I don't know. He plays Tam. Yeah, so my next... oh, actually he plays a gaze first here. I think he played this after a long think. And then dog hire. I didn't see this play. Hode. That scores 40. So I only scored 32 with he. Yeah, I should have played Hode here. I agree. I think I just played this too quick. Yeah, so that was an 8-point miss. That was pretty bad. Those 8 points could have really mattered in this game too, because this was a close game. So yeah, that was a pretty big miss actually of not playing Hode, and it's an easy word to find, so I don't know why I didn't play it. I think I was getting too excited that I had a chance of winning this game and was playing too quickly. He plays Tam. That's what I have here. So I played God here, which is the third best move. So Gravit is better. Yeah, that would have been better. That's 2 points better. And also puts a D in the triple lane. It's not really any worse than playing God, to be honest. And then a go is the best. Scores 7 more points than what I did, and doesn't really open anything up. Yeah, I agree that a go is better, a lot better than my play of God. So, yeah, 2 plays better than the one I did. I probably could have found both of those if I had spent some more time. I think I think I had enough time that I could have spent more time on these moves, and I should have. A lot of times, though, that can also, if you spend too much time early in the game, that can also hurt you later in the game. In this game, Carl went over by, I think, close to 2 minutes. He didn't go over 2 minutes, but he did lose 20 points, and that caused it to be really close at the end. Not super close, but pretty close. He plays Dunted, which I didn't hold this play, but to be honest, I'm not like super 100% sure, so I'm just gonna look it up. That is a word. All right. This rack. Yep, no. So didn't miss any bingos, and I played Vires for 22. Which is the 4th best play I had. Avers. I don't know. Vires is better than Avers. Vane. Yeah, is Vane really better than Vires, though? And then this. And Screek. It's the top player. Yeah, I do like this better than Vires. Yeah, this is a better leave. So, yeah, I agree. This is a better play than Vires. But I think Vires is probably the 2nd best play out of those options. And he plays movable pretty quickly. I think he was happy to get out of a pretty bad rack there. And this is where I really screwed up. Because I didn't have a blank here, but I had really good tiles. So there's no bingo here. So let me explain there is a word that I studied recently, and I kind of learned recently. This is a word of activize, and it means to activate, but not. They added a whole bunch of ISE words in a recent update. I can't really show you, but there's quite a bit that they added that are completely new. Let's see if I can think of. Is it Erot? No, they still that was Erotize is one that they still haven't added. Let's see. Adonize is one, or anodize. So anodize is one that's really helpful to know. Those one of the new ones that they added. We'll see if I can show you one more that it's like they added a lot of ISE words. Ghettoize. Yeah. So like a lot of the words that used to be IZE only now also take the ISE. So I was kind of counting on. I honestly I was like 50-50. Is this a word? So I just played it. Given that I was 50-50, I just played it immediately and tried and hoped that my confidence would at least give him trouble. But he did hold it, but I think he didn't take too long before he challenged it. But yeah, I played Activize, and it's just not. I thought, and then after he challenged it off, I thought that there was um, because I saw that it made cavities, but I thought there was an anagram of it, but there's no anagram of cavities. So that was just a bummer. And he plays key. And that's the thing, like, I usually just automatically play words that I'm 50-50 on and try to play it confidently. And against, like, weaker opponents, that works most of the time. But when you get up to, like, playing 2000s, you kind of have to change your thinking about playing phonies like that because they're just so good that you'll still be able to probably get away with a phony even against a 2000 player, but it's so much less likely. Um, uh, I didn't write. Oh, okay, yeah, I had the same rack here. So I spent way too much time on this move because I was thinking that there was an anagram of cavities when there wasn't. And I was also just like mentally not ready for losing a turn on a blown phony challenge. So that kind of like hurt my psychology in this game. What I ended up doing, I played Kane here, which I guess isn't bad. Yeah, I think these two are probably better than Kane. I just didn't see those. Istia is pretty good, so I like the play of Kane. And then he plays Jerboa, which those are pretty much the only bingo lanes. And he now has a pretty good lead of like 50, so he's shutting down the bingo lanes, which is exactly what he should be doing. Play Jupe. Plays Hype. So now what am I down by? Looks like 55. And oh wow, I had Titaness. Yeah, I'm pretty sure one, this isn't a word that I've really studied. I do have it in one of my flashcards, I'm sure, but it is kind of low probability, I think. Maybe not that low, but I don't know. Maybe it's not that low actually. I couldn't. I like started putting a. I thought I had Insanist, and I started playing, putting tiles, thinking I had Insanist, but I didn't. Yeah, Titaness. That's a pretty bad miss. Yeah, I played Hence. That would have got me back in the game. He plays Amrit. Played Yo. And here he took a really long time and went over by 2 minutes, which was really kind of weird. Oh, I guess this was his only bingo. That's why. And he wasn't sure of this word. That's why it took him so long to come up with this. So that's why he took so long and went over by 2 minutes and lost 20 points at the end. So he played Flinted, and then I had Slaint. So the end score, he lost 20 points for his overtime. So the end score was 387 to 372. So yeah, interesting game here. Good job on him for finding Flinted at the end. Definitely not a perfect game on either side. He made some mistakes. I made probably more mistakes than he did. Um, and again, it just kind of shows you where I'm at versus where he's at. He's a 2000 level player, which is amazing. Like how anyone can get to 2000 rated blows my mind a little bit because I don't know how I would ever be able to do that. Um, because, like I said in the last one, it's getting to 2000 is a lot more difficult than getting to 1800 because to get to 2000 you have to only play only play the other top players to get that high. And because if you play, you kind of have to protect your rating. Nigel's a little weird because he plays in these tournaments where he probably shouldn't. He should be protecting his rating, but he still somehow is 2000 anyway. um, yeah. Anyway, if you have any thoughts on this video or this game or anything else, put them down in the comments. Only thing I ask is that you don't be nasty. Especially don't be nasty about me, trash talking me, saying I'm a terrible player, I'm nobody. Don't say things like that. I've had somebody say, back when I was playing on ISC, I had somebody, I beat him in a game, and it wasn't like that fantastic of a game. I probably didn't play that great, but I still won. And then I don't know who this guy was, but he like started trash talking me, and he was like, "You're nobody." Like, what? I'm pretty sure I blocked him, but you don't really see that on Woogles. But if you play on ISC, there's people like that on there, which is another reason I don't play on ISC anymore. All right, guys. See you later. See you in the next video. Like and subscribe.